Thank you for joining me for today's solo podcast. I wanted to dive into a really essential topic about what you can and can't recycle in your local recycling bin. Many of you want to do your part for the environment, but really struggle with navigating the rules that can be really confusing. And that's why today's episode is all about education. When we know better, we do better. So as a professional organiser, I've become increasingly aware of the challenges surrounding consumerism and waste management. Most of our clients are passionate about living sustainably, but they often feel overwhelmed by the research and effort required to establish the recycling processes. And it's common to hear how little time they have to educate themselves or find local resources for reusing items they no longer need. And that's how we come in as professional organisers. We can assist clients in not only recycling their unwanted items, but also finding creative ways and places to reuse what might otherwise end up in landfill. Today, I want to share with you some of the community initiatives for recycling here in Australia, but there's probably the same or similar things happening all around the world. Let's jump into this Simply Happy conversation. Thanks for joining me for today's episode, all about what you can and can't recycle in your local recycling bin and other initiatives in the community that are taking those hard to recycle items and doing that for us, as well as looking at things that might contaminate your recycling bin and how we can alleviate that from happening. But I think it's important for us just to look at what recycling is, reusing and reducing. So recycling is when we are converting our waste into new products. And this is what that curbside recycling bin is generally for. So, our paper and our cardboard can be recycled into multiple things and multiple times. So it might be made into toilet paper, egg cartons, packaging. The benefits of recycling is that we're going to reduce landfill waste, which is going to then help lower our greenhouse gas emissions and save our natural resources, such as like the trees and the metal and water. But also potential job creation for recycling and waste management industries is definitely something that we're seeing growing, especially here in Australia and all around the world. But also it's going to help reduce our waste disposal costs. I'm going to be completely focusing on this part in today's podcast on recycling, but ultimately, the part that we do want to look at is we want to look at reusing and finding new uses for items without changing them. So, for example, jars for storage or boxes for drawer inserts, or reselling your clothes and items online or donating items. Or the number one part is reducing, which is minimizing your waste generation in the first place. So choosing products with minimal packaging, also using things that are refillable instead of like paper cups, but we're using the refillable cup. Maybe it's reusable shopping bags, or taking your containers to a bulk store to get refilled. We are ultimately trying to create less waste in the first place, and then reuse, and then finally recycle. But I really want to focus on the recycling part today. So let's jump into some of the misconceptions about recycling. And there's two that I find, and I hear them quite often, that all plastics are recyclable. You need to look at the recycling symbols that are on the bottom of your plastic item. In our area, on our yellow bin, we can only recycle number 1, 2, and 5 plastic. And the number is inside the little triangle recycle symbol. So you need to check with your own council as to what they actually accept. The next misconception I hear a lot is you can toss any items in the recycling bin. This is not true. There's a high level of contamination which happens when there's non-recyclable items mixed with recyclables. So that entire batch of materials that the rubbish has been collected with will end up in landfill rather than processing for recycling. Some of the common contaminants that we find in the bins are containers with food and liquid residue, and they contaminate the other recyclables. So you need to make sure that they are washed and clean. Cardboard is recyclable, but not pizza boxes with grease and food scraps in there, because that will also ruin the process. So then you need to make sure that you've removed the top part of the pizza box and the other part just needs to go in the rubbish. Many people also put napkins in the yellow bin, but they've been contaminated. They're not clean paper anymore, so they actually need to go in the rubbish bin. Another common contaminant is items like broken crockery, ceramic mugs, and glass. Not all glass is the same. So drinking glasses, that Pyrex containers, ceramics, they melt at different temperatures than our bottle glasses, and so they can't be recycled in your glass bin. So if it's broken, you need to wrap it carefully and place it in your normal general waste, not in your recycling. Number one cause of contamination in Australia in our bins is soft plastics. So shopping bags, chip packets, and cling wrap. They actually jam the sorting machine, and then they make the whole recycling process less efficient. Another item that can contaminate the bin is coffee cups that are made from paper but have the plastic lining. These can't go through the actual separating and recycle machines. They need to be separated separately. And also the lids, because the lids are made from a number 6 plastic, and unless it's been recycled in your area, generally they can't go through our general recycling bins. Another one is the foam packaging that comes with your appliances, be around takeaway containers. It crumbles into tiny pieces, making it really difficult to recycle. And many people think that they can put that in their yellow bin, but most councils around Australia do not accept them. But there are some transfer stations that you can take clean foam for recycling to. So you need to just check your local area. One other thing that contaminate recycle bins are batteries and e-waste. These are like old phones, laptops, chargers, and they can't go in our recycling or general waste bins, and the hazardous materials can cause fires. So there's lots of different drop-off places around. There's supermarkets. Some councils have an e-waste drop-off. You just need to look up in your local area who will accept that, but they cannot go in our recycle local bins. So by avoiding these mistakes, we're going to help reduce contamination, and we're also going to then help our recycling rates. And I want to now go into some of the different places that you can use community recycling initiatives that will accept some of those other items. The first community recycling initiative I want to share about is apparel here in Australia. It accepts textile waste. Absolutely nothing is sent to landfill. So they have saved 50 million items from landfill. For every kilo of textiles that avoids landfill, we prevent an average of 3 to 4 kilograms of greenhouse gases from polluting the atmosphere. The product that apparel produces from the recycled textiles is Uptex. It comes in different densities and thicknesses. It depends on what they're requiring it for application, and it can endure really hard outdoor conditions without warping or distorting. And they can make it into soft cushioning to sort of rigid panels. Items like to send to apparel is clothing items, so jeans, shirts, coats, any fabric offcuts and sewing scraps, hats, bras without the wire. And so you can actually just remove the wire from them. Socks, and that's what they originally were. They were taking the recycled socks is when I first actually started donating my things to them. Shoes, linen, so they can take bedding, blankets, towels and tea towels, but not pillows. They can take fabric mattress protectors, but as long as it's not plastic or waterproof. They can take fabric couch covers and curtains, bathers and swimwear, and even wetsuits. So you can go online, purchase the size of box that you're going to get them to come and pick up, place all the item in, pay for the box to be picked up. They come to your house and then they take it away and it then gets recycled. So the next community initiative I wanted to talk about was Simply Cups. This is a great one. This is where you send those paper cups, your coffee, smoothie, takeaway soft drink, ice cream, and any cups which they can't be recycled in your curbside bin because of that size, the shape, the weight, and also that waterproof lining that's used to make the cup. But Simply Cups can accept these, and they take these cups from 7-Eleven stores in Australia. So you can go into a 7-Eleven store and drop off the cups and also the lids. and they have partnered with 3 other companies who then recycle it. So one of them is called Pack Pave, and it's roads that use the cups to create sustainable asphalt. Another one is Enviro Light Concrete, and this is at least 35% is made up of recycled materials, and then they weigh half the weight of normal concrete alternatives. And the other one is Save Board, which is a low carbon building material made with 100% recycled materials. And this building material has like multiple purposes, like ceilings and also feature walls. The next community initiative is Rebel Sport are taking on behalf of Tread Lightly, the Australian Sporting Goods Association, any sort of sports balls that are broken, and also shoes, all old shoes. Most shoes in the past would end up in landfill, and they take over 1,000 years to decompose. So Tread Lightly are really changing that and allowing us to now recycle our shoes and any of the balls and divert them from waste and landfill. With recycled tyres, they make them into gym mats, underlay for flooring, and also kids' playgrounds. Obviously, all of these, I'm going to provide the links in the show notes so you can go and have a look at each one of these initiatives. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Banish, is also under the umbrella of BRAD. So BRAD stands for Banish Recycling and Disposable Program, and they divert 7.6 tonnes, so 2.5 million items from landfills so far since they've been around in Australia. They will take bottle top lids and single-use soy sauce fish. At the moment, that is the thing that they do in-house. So they have a shredder, and once the bottle tops are clean and dried, they then shred them in the shredder, and then they transfer this into the different coloured products for their sustainable hub. They create things like refillable pens. Now, the other part about Banish is they are also then a partner to other recyclers. So you can send your things to Banish, and they then divide them up, and then they send them out to the partners for you. I'll share a little bit about their partners first. So one of those is Nespresso program, and they accept the coffee capsules and take those to recycle. Pharmaceutical take the blister packs and also contact lenses for recycling, and they break them down into tiny particles. So they place the plastic, and then they also have the aluminium components. And the plastic part is then used to make bricks and also blocks that are made for building materials. They also partner with Valeria, and Valeria do your plastic skincare, toothpaste tubes, mixed beauty products, single-use plastic straws, and single-use cutlery. Another partner of theirs is OptiCycle, and this is where you can recycle glasses and sunglasses, and the lens are removed, and then it's only the frames. The material from the glasses is used for bench tops, bricks, and also blocks for building material. And the final one that they've partnered with at Banish is Transmutation, which does the bread tags, so plastic bread tags, which they shred and press into molds and create bowls and homewares. I'll go through some of the things that Brad you can send in a box. And again, you do pay a small fee to send them. You can go to all of these websites that I'll list, and you can actually download a information sheet that has the list of things that you can do. So with your Brad box, you can put toothpaste tubes, floss containers, old plastic toothbrushes, electric toothbrush heads, medical ointment tubes, hair gel tubes and caps, hair paste plastic jars and caps, lip balm tubes, face skin dispensers and the tubes, lotion bottles, tubes, the dispenser and a jar, the shaving foam tubes, lip gloss tubes, mascara tubes, eyeliner pencils and cases, eyeshadow tubes, concealer tubes and sticks, medical blister packs, Webster packs, sunglasses and reading glasses, spray and pumps from cleaning products, coffee pods, plastic bottle top lids, single-use coffee cups and lids, soy sauce fish, single-use cutlery and straws, contact lens packaging, plastic bread tags, writing pens, highlighters, biros and markers, and correction fluid, pots and tape, only if they're empty. So this is a really huge list of things that they take, and they need to be clean. This is why it's really important to go to their website, print off, so then you're aware of exactly what to actually send to them. How's this going to work in your home? Because are you capable of doing this? Maybe at the moment in your life, you already have a lot of balls that you're juggling, and this is just overwhelming and there's too much to try and think about and be able to implement. Decide just what you can start with. It may be just one of those things. Like for us, it was blister packs because it's something that we use a lot of in our home. And then slowly we've built on, I've created containers with labels for the other things to then go into until we send them as a package. And also look at, could it be divided to others' responsibilities? In our family, the cans and plastic bottles are the kids' responsibility. And once the bins are full, they then take them down with the help of one of us adults in the car to actually deposit them and then collect the money from it. You have to think about how you're going to store them. I have used little plastic containers that were just already in our house, so we're just reusing them. And I have got small cubes within a label. And I've also got our foil. So our foil can't be down low that we were keeping because it has to be in the size of a tennis ball before you can actually put it into your recycling bin. And our dog, if it's off the chocolate, she'll take the foil and think there's chocolate in it. So we have to have the recycled foil up high so she can't get to it. It could be the lids and cups that you start with if that's something that you find that you're always bringing back to your home and you're forgetting your actual takeaway cup to take with you. The other thing is to think about whose responsibility to clean and dry the items. In our home, that's fallen on my shoulders. I'm happy to do the tubes and also all the makeup things. It's not like we have a lot in our house, and I just get the kids to place any of those in a box and then I do them all at one time. I know there's a lot of information, but I hope that you are able to take away one thing from today, even if it's then making sure that you are not putting contaminants in your recycling. I hope you found these community recycling initiatives interesting and something you might like to look further into. By being aware of your waste, you can significantly reduce your impact on the environment. Every small action counts, and when we know better, we can definitely do better. Thanks so much for listening to Simply Happy Conversations.
Thank you so much for joining me for today's Simply Happy conversation. If you find yourself wasting precious time searching for misplaced items and wishing for a more organised life, then you need my 5-minute declutter ebook, the ultimate guide to quick and easy organising solutions for a clutter-free and happy home. Forget about spending months KonMariing your house. These fun solutions are designed to give you immediate results in under 5 minutes. Head over to Simply Happy in the resource section and download your free copy and start seeing results in minutes. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.